Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is here, and despite some reservations, it's actually playable on the Steam Deck. However, there are a few things you'll need to do to actually get it running. The game does require Windows, so you will have to have the Windows operating system instead of SteamOS, and it requires two other issues, TPM 2.0, which can be changed in the BIOS, and Secure Boot, which will need to be done externally. I use a program called Deck Secure Boot, which mounts an ISO where I can enable it that way. After that's done, we can get right into the game and test out the three different modes: campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. Starting with the campaign, performance will vary by the mission. The first mission, Exposure, played perfectly at 60 frames per second, but the second mission, Inside, brought performance down to the low 40s. It seems that the number of people on screen really isn't the issue, but how big and open the map is. This is something very consistent that I've seen across every game mode. So it's possible that there are going to be more campaign missions that are going to be a little bit hard to run. Moving on to multiplayer, I got mixed results depending on the multiplayer mode that I was playing. Some will run perfectly at 60 frames per second, like Team Deathmatch, and it was just fantastic. However, trying to head into the skirmish 20 versus 20 mode will tank frame rate. It still sticks above 40 frames per second, but with how many people are on the larger field, the frame rate will dip. However, most game modes that don't have this many people on such a large map is going to be pretty solid and should be relatively playable. Even when it starts getting really hectic with tons of explosions, I didn't really see dips below 60. And finally, we've got the zombies mode, which, of course, another mixed bag. The actual map for standard mode is pretty big, and at certain angles will cut the frame rate down. It still sticks above 40 frames per second the whole time, but definitely some slowdowns were noticeable. However, at some angles, it sticks to 60 frames per second perfectly fine, even when there are a ton of zombies on screen. There's also a survival mode on a more confined and smaller map, but for whatever reason, performance is around the same as the standard mode. Ultimately, when all is said and done, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is playable on the Steam Deck, but there are some heavy compromises. It can run above 30 frames per second the whole time, and a majority of the game will stick to above 40, but only some select modes will hit 60. Luckily, one of those modes is regular multiplayer like Team Deathmatch, but heading into larger maps like Skirmish will kill it. This was also all tested on the default settings for the game, so there may be some wiggle room that we'll figure out in our full review. Thank you guys for watching, don't forget to follow us for more, and let us know what game you would like to see next on the Steam Deck.